How do you spot a psychopath, sociopath, or narcissist on a first date? On the first date with my ex-husband of 5 months, he said, "I would totally marry you. I want to marry you." He was handsome and charming, and I felt like it was a fairy tale. We stayed out late kissing on the sidewalk, and the next day he said, "I wasn't kidding. I want to marry you." He said all the right things. That week, he pressed me to impulsive and have fun and go to the courthouse and just get married on him. And thinking he was a Prince Charming, I agreed. So dumb. Some things were off. The ex-girlfriend was sad tense and crazy. Red flag. Also, I later found out she had moved out with his apartment less than a month before our first date, during which he said he wanted to marry me. Red flag. He even later called his mom senile crazy when she called him out on his behaviors. Lying about everything for no reasons. He said no work in tech. We are in San Francisco. But really, he had an entry-level HR position for a biotech firm. He also had never gone to college, which is fine, but he insinuated that he had. The night we met, he said he had quit smoking 2 months ago and smoked occasionally around me, then smoked all the time. It had never been true. Also, his 1 year's cocaine use was actually closer to 3 weekly as soon as I moved in. I was trapped and he didn't have to keep up the facade. And 2 year strip clubs for bachelor parties ended up being 2 weekly and blowing $300 8 times. And again, he cannot afford the shit. There's a ton of the other random things he lied about also. He owned 2 nice BMI and nice motorcycle, all of which he has loans on and cannot afford. He wanted to project a certain status. He also said when he got married, one of the BMI would be mine, so I could drive it when we had kids. One time after he had been out all night at a strip club doing coke, I said, "It hurts me that we aren't going to be able to do anything fun today, as we had plans since you are hungover." And he went ballistic, called me a fucking cunt, and said I would never just let things go. Red flag. Scary. Also emotionally observant. Duh. He has zero empathy or ability to put himself on someone else's shoes. Gallisting. This would take more than 1 date, but all his memory of events are fabricated. But it's you with them, and they swear you're crazy and don't remember things or were too drunk or just unwilling to admit it. My ex accused me of insane things like staging a break-in of our own apartment. What the fuck? Among a million other things. Looking for a button to push. Creating drama out of thin air, existing conflict, then blaming you. Anything you confide in him about will be used against you. If you are confident and cannot see through what he's doing, he will slowly attack every part of you to see what touches a hot spot and then exploit it. One day, he loves me. The next day, he never loved me. And he'd say he didn't mean it and obviously loves me. One day he wants kids ASAP. Next day say he doesn't ever want kids. There's always some excuse where everything is my fault and I'm not good enough. I'm too messy. I talk in a baby voice which it cannot tolerate. My career is dumb and I am dumb, even though I have a master's degree and awesome career. So it's emotional abuse but also insane gaslighting and denial of actual factual event. He's saying this thing to try to find my weak spot and vulnerabilities. He was an asshole to my dog in every way for no reason. He looked for reason to punish him and would be too forceful. Dog is 20 pounds. I was scared to leave the dog with him alone. Threatening divorce or breakups all the time. He said he wanted a divorce, would go out and meet women, saying we were getting a divorce, and then try to make up with me the next day and go back to status. What the fuck? And keep in mind this was like 2 months into a marriage. Ego. Show him a picture of an ex one time. He was very attractive, and his first sentence was, "I'm better looking than him." I didn't have the heart to think, not really, because I'm not a sociopath, but it surprised me how he responded. Okay, in hindsight, it's hard to say this thing on the first date, but honestly, within a month I saw plenty of things to have an idea. I spent a lot of time wondering if he was depressed, narcissistic, emotionally abusive, traumatized from his childhood, borderline, bipolar, and maybe he's a bit of several of those, but when I read about sociopathy, it fit to a T.